How's it going, traders? Today I'm going to go over a play I took on MDCO at the close in Power Hour. Nice little bounce play off a daily level, which actually became an intraday level later on. I'm also going to look at some other setups that we saw at the open and the midday. Unfortunately, I wasn't here to trade them, but it's really good to review these things so we can better identify them in the future. So MDCO, big gap up. Let's take a look at the daily chart. What are some levels here? So 37.50 area. I like that because of this and this back in June. Then you get to this kind of 38.90-ish area, which is this high and this high. If we go back in time, when's the last time we were testing the $40 level? It was probably here, and I would draw that level right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tests of that 40.90 area. All right, we got our levels. And let's take a look at the pre-market. The pre-market was wild. When I came and saw this, I was like, is this for real? There's a $10 range in the pre-market, right? From 48.37. So that, I don't know what's going on there, pretty wild. But once you get closer to 9:30, around 9 o'clock, you can see that this high was actually the 40.90 that we drew off the daily chart, right? So that was tested. And then we formed support at 38.90, which was this pivot, right? Let's just drag that up a bit right there. 38.90, this was the support. Once it started losing that in the pre-market, I think it was pretty clear what was gonna happen here. Sold off, right? 2 minutes before the open, came up to test 38.90, rejected it, and dumped. The 1 minute chart's a little more clear. So if you wanted to play this on a 2 minute orb, you could take it here on the break of the body at the 9:34 candle. But there's a better entry here on the 1 minute chart, which is basically a bear flag. It's a L-shaped bear flag, sell off, volume, consolidation, white candle, low volume, continuation, right? That's what you'd like to see. Some sort of L shape. And that was a nice move. So then we started making our way down to the previous day close. Previous day close, that's a strong level, isn't it? And it came to test once, got bought up, right? This is a gap up, so people are probably going to try to buy this up the first time. And then it came to test, let's go back to the 2 minute chart here. It came to test a second time and formed a double bottom. How beautiful is that, right? Like that, W, that's a nice entry, 35.50, half number. As you can see, it started rounding out on the 5 minute chart. A lot of reversal candles, hammer, inverted hammer. I don't know what that is, but that's a hammer. So 35.50 was a nice catch on the bounce, and then it just ripped its way up through the VWAP. I think it paused below the VWAP and squeezed through. Back up to 37.50, right? So take a look at that. So far we have how many levels tested here? We have this one on the pre-market, this one, right? So down, lost it, came back, tested it, down, and here we are back at 37.40. So we have 4 strong levels here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what happens when we reject 37.50? We reject it, make our way back to the VWAP, and then you get a hammer, a nice hammer. So this is type of an ABCD type of play, bouncing off the VWAP. People went long, big volume spike, off you go, the trend continues, right? So this is very strong. Now I understand why Brian doesn't like to short strong stocks, because once they catch momentum, they can run quite a bit. Off it goes into 11 o'clock, and then we hit this area, 38.95. What was that? That was this pivot, guys, 38.95. We got a 2 minute shooting star. Look at that shooting star, beautiful, on a volume spike. So what does volume tell us? It tells us that people are doing something. So people are either covering, selling, or shorting, right? They're doing something, buying and selling. And lo and behold, that marks the high of the day for that moment. Comes back down, sells off to 37.50, right? That was a nice little $1.50 sell-off, or a kind of a controlled pullback, right? On the 15 minute chart, it's really beautiful how it came back, very clean, no wicks and stuff like that. And then 37.50, bottoms out, comes back, and the continuation goes. Off it goes, right? So that's a nice little kind of trend continuation play off the VWAP. Then we get to this 2 o'clock area where I saw it and tried shorting it, but I bailed. I bailed because I was too early on the entry. This at one point was a shooting star. It was like this. The candle looked like that, maybe a little bottom wick. And I preempted the entry because I saw that we were kind of losing steam, but it was too early of an entry. And then as soon as the candle closed, it had regained some. So it lost the wick, and then it closed more like that. I was like, okay, that's a little scary. And then the next candle dumped, but came back as a hammer type of deal. And usually a hammer at the top of an uptrend is hanging man or whatever you call this thing. It could be a bear signal, or it could be indecision. But when I saw it kind of pulling back and not dumping the way I'd like to see it dump, pulling back slowly, I was like, okay, I'm gonna bail. Sometimes you have to bail, right? You have to just understand the first decision was not a good one, and there's still time to salvage this trade. So I got out at break even, right? I had enough time over this 4 or 5 minute period to say I shouldn't even be in this trade. And that was I think it was a good judgment call, because it squeezed even further. Came up to 40, rejected this whole, once it popped through 40, rejected that whole number. There was no signal to take this, to be honest with you. This was not a reversal signal that I could see. Nothing really here, no shooting stars. Maybe this wick's kind of too small, to be honest with you. On a 15-minute chart, it's too small to indicate a reversal. And then it came down, back down to, what do we see? The 38.95 area. Right, so I took it as soon as it bounced off the first time. I bought the pullback. Normally I don't buy pullbacks, I buy breakouts when it makes a new 5-minute high or 2-minute high, whatever. But I bought the dip on this one, thinking that I might miss the move if I don't. And I put my stop right here, 38.82, right? A couple cents below that low there. Came down, tested it, almost got stopped out. 2 cents, guys, 2 cents. I held, and then the buyers showed up again, right? They showed up here and they came to the rescue here. Boom, and then we just popped, cleared into the close, into the sunset for a nice 80-cent move. So my risk to reward came out with, I think, a 3-to-1 or something like that. Just held it to the close because it was so strong, right? I saw that we're making this kind of a cup shape or whatever, rounded out, and the 30-minute chart, I believe, was also a nice little ABCD type of thing. So I held it through that. Let's recap here. What do we see? Levels, guys. This is what the lesson is today. Level, 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 right? Tested, lost, tested twice, came back up. That became a level. This again was relevant. And then this prior resistance here, right? Resistance became, you guessed it, support here. So how beautiful is that, right? To be just playing off the support and resistance. Anyways, that's the recap. That's what I saw. If you guys saw anything else, comment down below. If not, have a great day, and I'll see you in the room tomorrow.